Welcome to Ilanga. Ilanga Tech is a subsidiary of Ilanga Technologies. Ilanga has been in the telecommunication industry for over 20 years. Ilanga manufactures tree towers and installs 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G on behalf of all the operators. With all the experience accumulated over the decades in telecommunications, 4 years ago, Ilanga decided to start a company called Ilanga Tech. Ilanga provides charging stations for all electric vehicle markets. Whether you're an electric vehicle owner or a savvy entrepreneur wanting to cash in on the electric vehicle market, Ilanga has a solution for you. Ilanga offers project management and consulting services on all aspects electric vehicle charging. Ilanga can assist with upselling your solar installation with an EV charge point. With the help of Visa and MasterCard, you can make money as a charge point owner from the solar installation you installed on your building. Hi, my name is Brendan and I'm one of the directors of Ilanga and Ilanga, and this is Trevor, our engineer and brains of the operation.
Welcome everyone. Today we'll be touching a little bit on the electric vehicle ecosystem. I will be covering some technical aspects and present a small demonstration using augmented reality, and Brendan will cover some costs of installing an electric vehicle charging station. Due to time constraints, the content presented will be informative but not in detail. Feel free to chat to us after if you have any questions. So let's break this down into three categories: location, power, and connectivity and management. Okay, for our first section we have location. This can be broken down even further, broken down into your home, your business, and public charging. Firstly, we need to change our way of thinking. Charging an EV is not the same as topping up your internal combustion engine. To make this simple, I have broken down the various levels of charging into three categories, alright, based on the time spent at a location. Let's break it down. Level 1, 8 to 24 hours. Level 2, 1 to 3 hours. And level 3, 10 to 30 minutes. Owning an EV, you will encounter and fall into a mixture of these categories. In general, level 1 for most users will be the go-to, especially if you have an intelligent fast AC charger at home. Some examples would be level 1 would be your home, workplace, and an Airbnb, for example. Level 2 would be something like shopping malls or hospitals for doctors that are spending longer hours there, and once again your workplace. I mean, you're spending most of your day there. And then level 3 is our travelers. That's our highway commuters as well. These are our fast chargers where we don't have a lot of time and we can't sit in a location for longer than 10 to 30 minutes. Alright, so the power can be broken up into two categories. We have the electric vehicle charging equipment and we have our power source. So the time generally spent at a location will determine the type of charger that should be installed. The two types of chargers that you're typically going to encounter would be an AC or a DC charger, or a combination of both. Before I go any further, let's have a look at the different socket types that you would find on these chargers. So on our AC chargers we have our type 2 socket, which is single or 3-phase. And then we have our DC sockets with the Shadimo and CCH, which is the combined charging standard. The power source used to power the vehicles or the electric vehicle charging equipment can be a combination of solar, wind, and grid. For a home AC charger, expect anything from 3.7 all the way to 22 kilowatts. Realistically though, the onboard chargers on these vehicles will not have the functionality to go up to 22 kilowatts, so be sure to check out the specs of your vehicle. Now for DC charging, we're entering a whole new ballgame. We go anywhere from 24 kilowatts all the way up to 350 kilowatts, which is our ultra fast charging. Now you might be thinking, damn, that's a lot of power. You're not wrong. We can't obviously just go out and keep installing these because in most cases we would actually need to upgrade the transformers. We typically find that the 50 kilowatt DC chargers are the most popular for now. Right, so now we decide we want to install these chargers and the power requirements quickly rank up. So this is where it becomes extremely crucial to actually select a good management platform that can automatically distribute the available power you have to your sector and distribute these amongst your chargers based on the vehicles that are coming in. There's a lot of different ways you can set this up, but typically you'd never want to exceed your power you have available, and you'd always want to try and stay within your maximum demand. Cloud connectivity and management. So as an installer, you've got multiple brands of chargers to choose from. How do you put all of this together in a package? Well, with our backend, it is possible to use a massive variety of brands and have them connect all to one platform. By using something called the Open Charge Point Protocol, our team of engineers are constantly adding new chargers as the market grows with various brands. So, as a charge point owner or a charge point operator, whether you've got one AC station or 50 DC stations of various brands, you can manage and control these stations remotely. Manage and control, you can view exactly what is happening with that station and pull all the analytics you could possibly want. Now, you can also change the station from free charging to billed charging. So you can decide how much to charge per kilowatt hour used, or you can charge for the time spent at the station, or both. We currently have several different pricing models available. Okay, for the end consumer now. If you registered, you can use your RFID card and tap the charger or just use the app. If you're not on the network and don't want to be, that's fine. You can keep your data. If the owner of that station is charging for the use of that station, you can simply scan the QR code or enter the URL on the charger, and you can just use your credit card to pay for that charge. Quite simple.
Thanks, Trevor, for enlightening us on the inner workings of an AC and DC charger. At the end of the day, someone's got to pay for this. How much does it actually cost? And how much do you need to charge others to use that charger? Well, the answer is free. It's entirely possible that an EV owner could purchase an EV car. It comes standard with an EV slow charging plug. This is normally fitted in the boot. You can take it out and plug it into a standard wall socket. The solar system installed then charges the car for free, but it comes at a capital outlay cost, obviously for the car itself and the solar system. The downfall of all of this is that it's a very slow charge. You're looking at about 30 hours using a standard wall plug. And with Porsche coming on board with their bigger battery units, you're looking at 2 days worth of charging. So how do we speed up this charging? For home users, you can start by buying a 7.2 kilowatt AC charger that will half your charging time. Home chargers can range from about 9,000 to 20,000 Rand, depending on the quality of the product and where you get it from. It all requires one 40 amp circuit breaker and a cable from the 40 amp circuit breaker to the charger. An electrician shouldn't charge you more than 3,000 Rand to install this, to install the breaker and the charger. If you have 3-phase installed at home, we would recommend 11 to 22 kilowatt charger to make use of all 3 phases. The 22 kilowatt chargers are common, but we find that a lot of the cars do not support 22 kilowatts on board. So you might find a car that's only supporting 7 to 11 kilowatts. There are cars coming out, more expensive cars that require you to upgrade to go from 11 to 22, but let's just stick with 11. So now that we have discussed home chargers, let's look at the cost associated with public charging. Public charging consists of AC or DC chargers. We would recommend a branded, reputable company. Because these chargers are out in the rain, you want very consistent and reliable chargers. We have partnered with ABB as a reliable supplier for vehicle charging stations. So we generally try to punt ABB where possible. Public charging stations are considerably low in maintenance if you select the right brand. Public chargers offer higher power output and remote back-end connections and monitoring. The same 72 kilowatt charger mentioned above can set you back at about 31,000 Rand. This includes 2 years of back-end support. The benefit of this is that you'll be able to monitor your station remotely, and if you wish, create custom billing solutions. For public stations, we would recommend a 22 kilowatt station with a 2-year back-end support, and this will cost around 35,000 Rand. In addition to this, you'll need a 3-phase 32 amp supply fitted into your circuit breaker and a 4-core 16mm squared cable fitted from the AC charger to the 3-phase breaker. This is slightly trickier to set up, but the electrician shouldn't charge you more than 5,000 Rand to install. Once it's powered up, it should connect straight to our back end, and you'll be able to start monitoring your charging station and start billing customers. There are other costs associated like concrete, painting, and signage, but this is site dependent. Now for the fun chargers, DC chargers. These are so fun to use and they get your car up and running within minutes as opposed to hours. Chargers in this category range from 260,000 Rand for a 24 kilowatt to 2 million Rand for 350 kilowatts of high power, high voltage. The most common DC chargers supplied will be the 50 kilowatt CCS with an AC combo charger. This is the most commonly used throughout the world. These typically cost 650,000 Rand. This will typically include the back end as well. A 50 kilowatt DC charger will typically charge all vehicles no matter what, as the control rides within the actual charger and not necessarily within the car itself. So what you would need for this is an 80 amp 3-phase breaker. This tends to be the limit of the council when you apply for power. Once you apply for past this, you will be slotted in a different category. Other costs associated with installing a DC power station is cabling, laying of cabling, concrete work, and some signage with some painting of the paving. So what if you have a solar system that can handle 50 kilowatts of excess power? All this energy goes straight into the car. How do you decide on this pricing? Some provide free charging like BMW's Charge Now network. But since you as a charge point owner, you can decide any price that you want. Generally the pricing is charged per kilowatt hour, and it ranges from 3 to 5 Rand per kilowatt hour. You get the guy there, he charges it, uses his credit card and pays for the bill, money's in your account.
So I'm going to try something here. Instead of just showing you guys the augmented reality, I'm actually going to allow you to use this on your own phone. So if you can look in the Q&A section, I'll be posting a link where you could just go to that link. There'll be instructions on how to use it. So you'd want to actually use your phone in an environment that is well lit, and you're going to hold your phone looking at the floor. The floor is going to be detected and it will place the models that we have placed there for you, and you'd be able to walk around the model, turn the model around, and you can get a better idea of what these chargers look like. Please note, this does not work on all phones. Your phone requires a good camera, a gyroscope, and the newest version of Android or iOS. Looking forward to seeing where you guys place these chargers.